Today, we're going to be talking about ways to improve your mindset, some serious things that are bringing you down, and basically ways to elevate your thinking and glow up mentally. Number one is to be different. Now, I know this is a really cliche statement, the whole be yourself idea, and you kind of see it in different movies where everybody says be different, be yourself. I remember when I was still back in high school, I spent a lot of my junior years trying to fit in. There was this particular group of girls, basically. I didn't really connect with them, but they had this friendship group. If you know how groups of girls can be, but they had this friendship group, and I really liked that, and I wanted to be a part of it because I didn't want to be like an outcast. I wanted to be part of them. They didn't make up the whole girls in the class. I wanted to be part of them, despite the fact that I didn't share their values. I didn't share a lot of their morals and stuff like that. But basically, I tried to attach myself, and it was a real problem because a lot of the time I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't feel recognized. I felt like an outcast still. Like it was like I was. The whole point of it was defeated because you're trying to fit in, but you don't even feel like you're in because that's not you. You have to be someone else. I literally had to filter myself. Not like, oh, you shouldn't filter some things, some opinions. Like you should share your opinion, but obviously there are some things you shouldn't say. But like there were things I couldn't even say because I knew none of them saw it my way. We just didn't have the same likes and dislikes, stuff like that. I'm very grateful to myself that later on I realized that okay, this is not, I don't enjoy this, and if I'm just trying to do this to feel good and I don't even feel good doing it, then the entire point is defeated. Like if I'm going to be an outcast but I'm going to feel better, then that actually makes more sense. So but this led to a point in my life where I was pretty much a bit alone because I had just removed myself. I just started distancing myself from said group of people. And the funniest thing was that they didn't even notice. Just to tell you, I wasn't even that close to them as I thought I might have been. They didn't even notice. I basically started to distance myself from them. I went through a period where I was pretty much a little bit alone. Yeah, like alone. I still talk to them, but I just couldn't involve myself. What this did for me is that it started to bring people that genuinely liked what I liked, people that I related with. There were people in my class that I didn't even know I had so many similar things in common with because I was too busy trying to be a different person, trying to fit myself into somebody else's group, that I didn't acknowledge the people who actually were for me. But as I started to come out more, I started to share my opinion, share my own sense of humor, do small stuff like that. I realized I started to find people who were for me, people who I liked, people who I engaged with. And that's the thing, when you're being someone else, people who like you for you won't find you because like they can't see the real you. What I did to myself wasn't nice. But basically after I started opening myself, I started to find more people that were like that thought the way I did, that had the same morals, values as me, and it just made the entire school experience a lot greater. And I'm so glad I did that before I left school. It made me have amazing memories of secondary school. Like I definitely feel like if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't even want to remember secondary school because I'll just remember discomfort and not feeling like I belong and so on and so forth. Second point is to dream big. I once heard this quote that says nobody is charging you to dream big, and I support that so much. It doesn't hurt to dream big. It doesn't pay to dream small. Like you are not losing anything by dreaming big. If you are afraid of being disappointed, if you dream small and only achieve those dreams that are small, despite the fact that you secretly want more, then you are still suffering the same disappointment. Don't tell yourself that you can't do this or you can't do that. Dream big. Don't dream within your means. Don't dream realistically. Dream far and wide. It's basically like if I'm targeting 1 million subscribers in the next 5 years, but maybe I end up hitting like 750,000 in the next 5 years. I missed, but I still hit a very good mark. Versus if I was like dreaming small and I was like, oh, I probably can't do it. My content isn't that good, so I only target for like 100K in 5 years, and I miss and I go for like 70K. Like they're all great, but you can see that when you dream big and you work towards it, it's very rewarding. So open your mind. Also, with this being said, be realistic about how much you can control. I don't think you should be realistic about how you dream, but be more realistic in how you plan. Like in life, for example, there are some things you can control. You can set a dream of like running a marathon in the next 1 year, and that's mostly in your control because like staying fit and building that level of fitness is in your control. versus something like getting a million subscribers, which is, within your control when you look at the work and the hard when you look at the effort you have to put in. Yes, but it's not as much as within your control. Make sure that when you are planning, you are not overly disappointed about the factors that are not within your control. You don't have to tell people you are dreaming big, and you probably shouldn't. The truth of the fact that a lot of people are very negative, a lot of people are very discouraging. I literally had a situation whereby I told someone very close to me, a position of authority, and she was like, "Oh, I couldn't do it because of of that and blah blah blah." Very discouraging, and so I left it. But later on, I pursued it, and I got it, and I learned so much. So the point is like, if imagine if I had listened to her. Don't listen to those negative people. And the truth is that even with trying not to listen, it's very hard. So what I would advise is that you don't even tell them in the first place. Just walk towards your dream in silence. Find people that inspire you. The only thing I would advise you to be careful about is that if you are very insecure, this might be really hard for you, because you are looking at these people and they are making you feel bad about yourself because you haven't achieved what they have, and that's what you want. So I think you need to work on yourself if you have that kind of mentality, because it means you are insecure, you don't think you're going to get there, and there could also be a lot of thoughts around that, a lot of perhaps a bad mindset behind that. It could be for a lot of different reasons, but you have to look within yourself and try and understand where that's coming from, and whether you need to take a break and then come back. But basically, find people that have done what you want to do so you can follow them and you can remind yourself how achievable it really is. Now, my third one might get a lot of hate, but don't drink or smoke. Celebrities are smoking, they make you look like the biggest guys and the biggest girls and the best women are the ones smoking, are the ones taking all the drugs and doing all those things. Like, they make the lifestyle look like it's the best thing ever, and that's just not true. Smoking is so bad for your health for like a number of reasons. Like, it's really bad. I know some people are going to be like, oh, you can do this, like maybe do a little bit. It is obviously my own opinion, so if you have something different to say, that's completely fine. But I would honestly advise that at this stage of your life, and preferably and even in the future, you should avoid drinking and smoking. Next, you don't have to have so many friends to enjoy school. You don't have to have so many friends to enjoy life in general. Quality over quantity is what I would advise over and over again. You can have 10 fake friends that are going to make your life living hell, but when you have one friend that makes life that it just makes life that more enjoyable. Like, that one friend that understands you, what you want, that you go well with. One of the ways to do this is to find comfort within yourself first. Find what you like, learn to enjoy your own company, because after when you do this, you won't tolerate people who make you feel bad, because you're like, okay, like, if I'm not even without you, I can be completely fine. It's when you're dependent on people, like, you think you have to be with them, you think you have to follow them to feel cool, to feel nice, or just to be cool or to look a certain way. That's when you start forcing yourself around people who don't want you, who are obviously fake, who don't like you. Versus when you are comfortable with yourself, you are okay being alone, and whoever comes to your life will add to your life rather than take away from it. So learn to find comfort within yourself, and then find people that make you feel good about yourself. I'm not saying you should isolate yourself if you can't find people, because there are situations like that. There are situations whereby people around you just don't vibe with you. Maybe it's just a matter of likes and dislikes. I'm not saying you should isolate yourself. Still talk to people with different interests as you. It's so nice to have a different perspective. But what I'm trying to say is that be genuine, be yourself. And yeah, just remember that even if you don't find your people right now, you don't have to fit yourself into any box or fit yourself with fake friends just to make yourself feel cool or feel like you fit in. One notice I want to sound on this, that this is completely different if you're a bad person. If you're a bad person, please don't look for people around you to add and make you worse as a human being. If you're a bad person, genuinely find ways to change. Another tip I want to give is to calm down. There is this thing where social media makes us feel like we are not doing enough. Like, you can literally be a millionaire right now, and social media will make you feel like you are not good enough. Not to talk of most people that aren't millionaires. You're actually working on yourself, then I can say confidently that you are doing well. You are not just sitting around, you don't know, you are not interested in knowing, you're just going through life. However life takes you, you are going. I don't think that's a good idea. Plan, make goals and work towards them without obsessing over them. I think that that's one of the best things you can do for yourself, as well as making time to have fun and enjoy this part of your life so that you live with the minimal regrets. But don't let social media tell you that you need to be a millionaire by 18, you need to be a millionaire by 20, you need to be a billionaire by 30. Don't pressure yourself into any kind of thing like that. You have to give yourself time. Don't climb, don't allow anybody to spite you. There are so many dangers of trying to rush yourself, like scamming. You see so many people trying to get rich fast, so they put all their money and all their life savings. And I think that at this stage is a lot less risky with them. There's a lot less to lose. But even with that, you don't want to lose at all. Trying to get rich quick, or trying to be have a lifestyle that you honestly can't afford right now, just because you think that's where you should be right now. If you are feeling insecure, then to mute any influencer that makes you feel that way. You can always come back. They don't have to be muted forever, but learn to distance yourself from such situations. And if everybody makes you feel bad, you need to work on that. Thank you for watching. I would love it if you would check out my previous video. The link will be in the comments and in the description. Please like this video, share to anyone who you feel would need it. I would love to see any type of comments, questions you have, or constructive criticism down in the comments below.